be uh, resuming the recording here at 8:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bo, if you could, you, if I recall correctly, Eliza had reached out to you, had given you the application. The application was submitted to Clark. Is that accurate?
No, not quite. I reached out to them personally. I over the last year, and then especially more in the last months or so, I was being recruited to come join. I never wanted to. It was just when I decided I was ready, I called them. I went to their front gate and asked for an interview, or not an interview,
Okay.
but an application. But the rest is accurate, yeah.
Okay. Could you walk me through coming to the gates of New Babylon for the first time and the process that they took you through to get oriented?
Like when they accepted me?
Yes. Yep.
Well, I guess I just got a call saying that to just come on down. I didn't know at the time if it was an exception or it was just like, I guess just to talk again. I was brought down. I came to the gate. I was met at the gate by Clark, and he brought me inside to the Ratatouille, where he conducted like a quick little interview where he was just, I guess, re-asking some of the questions that were on the application and maybe trying to clarify and get a little bit deeper on them. And I suppose my answers were good enough that at that point he just said, "All right, cool, you're in. Welcome." And from that point, I went straight from Ratatouille to go get changed into their whatever you call those, the vestments things. And then from there, I kind of chit chatted with a couple people walking by while he acquired the like codex book thing, the general book thing. And I was walked through page by page, the map, and the codex like rules, the numbered like law things. And that was pretty much it.
How thoroughly did he go through the codex with you?
I mean, he basically read them off one by one. He didn't really like go too deep into them and what exactly they mean. He just said, this is a codex, but just the most important rule is just don't be an idiot. And I think like the actual codex itself was left more to interpretation.
And the map, is this the one that shows New Babylon and the various businesses on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it include Trade Island?
Not to my memory. I don't think it did. No, it was just like the general area, the general hub.
And so over the next couple days, what was your life like? What was your role within New Babylon? Like, what did they have you doing? Rather than what did you intend to do? Like, how did you make Babylari to begin? Let's start there.
Well, my plan to make Babylari was just to do general contracts, but I never got around to doing any because at the time Babylon was kind of like at like a weird war thing with both the besties and I think the clowns as well, because day one I got there and it was chill enough. I was just kind of chit-chatting, getting to know everybody, but I didn't really do anything. Day two, there was a big clown attack where I had to have a gun put in my hand. Day three, a bestie attack where I had to have a gun put in my hand. And then day four was ultimately the raid. So I didn't really get to do a whole lot. I was kind of just like made to bring into things to defend. I didn't really get a whole lot of breathing room.
So, did you manage to earn any Babylari? Were you given any Babylari?
I made a couple. Like it was just like from doing mundane things. Like I got a Babylari paid because I did this training to figure out how to work a parachute, and I successfully did that. So I was paid a Babylari for it. And then I went around to some people and I offered to be their fucking bitches to get some Babylari, because at that point I was desperate, right? I just wanted to make a name. I wanted to get some stuff to my name, because at that point I had nothing. I had nothing that I could provide or do anything for. So I needed Babylari. So I was okay with degrading my name and becoming somebody's bitch. So it just like maybe run around, hey, can you grab this from this person or whatnot. I did general stuff like that, but I didn't really get into anything too crazy. I did one contract. Now that I think about it, I only accomplished one contract where we were like, I was like sent to like this ship down by the docks and needed to collect a barrel. And I did do that, in fact. I got paid for that. That's the only thing I was able to do.
What specifically? What did they end up having you do to get the Babylari?
What, like the bitch work, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It would be something like at a trade day. I was there for one trade day. I was like a grunt. Like I'd carry things for people. People needed stuff carried from the trade day back to Babylon. I'd carry it. Or if somebody needed, just a hand with like, we went on this like expedition out into the water. I offered my services for that. I didn't really do a whole lot. I was just there. But I got paid for it nonetheless. I got 1 or 2 Babylari. Not a whole lot, but I mean, I wasn't really doing a whole lot, so I didn't expect a lot.
Bo, I believe that you are rather unique out of the individuals that have been charged, in that you have not been there for many days. And that's something I definitely want to put into consideration, especially when evaluating your unique situation.
Okay.
However, that is going to require some forthcomingness. I don't really want to elicit any answers from you, but I think it's very important. I'll tell you this. I would like to if you're willing to cooperate with us, I could very much see that looking good to the prosecutors we work with in terms of carving you out of this situation separate from the rest. Because I imagine being in New Babylon only for a couple days, your culpability is going to be very different than those that have been in there for months.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with some simple questions, and what do you know about who is the leader of the MC within New Babylon?
I think it was Speedy, but I never was around early enough to find out. I think from what I heard, it was Speedy. It could have been Harry. They were both in it, but I'm pretty sure Speedy led it, because in my Breaking Bad screenplay that I was writing, so I was writing a Breaking Bad screenplay, but I was like alternating it. I was like switching out, characters and locations for Babylon, because I wanted to incorporate the Babylon culture into it and make it a really unique story, right? So instead of the cartel, I wanted it to be the MC. And the idea was that Speedy would play the villain in the story. So I'm pretty sure it's Speedy.
Do you know what role the MC played?
They were like what would the word be? Kind of like just like a gang, in the city.
Okay. Did they have any hand in drugs?
Yes, I mean I think so. On my first day there, like one of the first people to pull me aside, I was pulled into like an alleyway, and it was a mafia member with a vest on. They were like, "Hey, you want some of this?" I looked down, and he had some spice in his hand,
Mm.
and I didn't know. Like I didn't know at that point. Like, shit, this is awfully sketchy. Can I say yes to this? Can I say no to this? But he insisted upon it, and he gave it to me. So I assumed that would be like they dealt that stuff.
Okay. When you say alleyway, you mean alleyway within New Babylon or outside of New Babylon?
Yeah, like within Babylon, like kind of just behind a trailer, out of everybody's eyesight.
And what about um the laboratory? Who operated that?
That I have no idea.
Do you know anything about the laboratory?
No, I don't.
Do you ever see anyone go in and out of it?
I went inside of it once on like on a day where like there was nobody around, and it was just a couple of us, and we were just kind of I was getting a general tour. So I didn't know anyone involved with it, like that worked in there, or going in and out doing business.
What was in the laboratory?
Like a bunch of like just like what was in the laboratory? There was like worms and shit like that. There was I don't really know. There
Did
was a
and
Saturday,
mm,
specifically, like in of those 4 days, it was a Saturday where my memory is very very foggy, where I don't remember a whole lot. Um, but I do remember going in there looking for bleach, and then the next day my hair was white. So I think they had bleach in there as well.
mm. um did you happen to see any of the worms ejaculate while you were there?
No, I did not see them ejaculate. No, I
Are
I wasn't
you
really watching them,
okay?
looking at them per se. To be honest, I didn't really keep a presence. I didn't think I was allowed to be there, and I was trying to keep myself very vigilant, and like I was being hard on myself to try to be as good as possible because I didn't want to get on anybody's bad side, especially like the militia or any of the leaders.
Um who were the leaders?
Um, from my understanding, it was Mr. Lang, uh, CJ, and I think Skipper.
Okay. Was there a name title that they were given?
Uh, Mr. Lang was the Marduk, and from what I heard, CJ was the Marduchess, and then I think Skipper was the Marduki.
Hmm. Of the three, was there any one of them that would ever give you? Were you ever given directives by them, like directly?
I mean, not for anything like specifically to me. No, I mean, on the day of the raid, it was Mr. Lang that was kind of at the top, and like and then CJ and would help with like getting a gun in my hand and stuff like that.
Hmm. What gun did she give you?
On the raid, I had a shotgun.
Was that the first time you were given a gun?
No, no, I was given a gun pretty much every single day that I was there.
Do you recall which guns were given to you?
I think on the first day I was given like a revolver or something because I guess there was nothing else available. But then the next day I was given like an assault rifle, and then the next day was the shotgun.
Who gave you the revolver?
I think that was CJ as well.
And who gave you the assault rifle?
That would have been Benji.
Um, are you aware of guns being something that could be purchased by Babylonians internally?
Yes, yeah, they made it clear to me, like, when they gave it to me that, "Hey, just make sure to pay, Speedy," which I never did because the time never came.
Okay. And who told you this?
CJ.
What else sort of interactions did you have with CJ?
Not too many. I didn't really get to see her around a whole lot. She was kind of doing her own thing while I was doing mine. That's pretty much I'd see her at the meeting, and then those as well, like, where she's giving me the gun, but that's about it.
Um. Okay. Um. So it sounds like mostly she gave you guns twice, and outside of that, not too much other interaction.
Not per se, no. Nothing
Um.
notable.
Are you aware of spice being produced within New Babylon?
I'm aware that it happened, yeah.
In what way?
Just that it was that was the origin of it. It was New Babylon.
Was
I had seen it in the city prior, and so I just knew it came from here.
understood. Did you see any signs of that while in New Babylon?
Yeah. Like I said, the guy that pulled me into the alley, he gave me some, which I immediately gave to the militia. Like I said, I didn't want to step on any toes or get into any trouble on my first, week
Mm.
there. So I immediately gave that to militia. Then there was a time where we went to like this church, a church meeting, where I was given spice, and I I did consume the spice, and then I was washed of my prior pre-Babylonian ways, and I jumped into the water.
Could you describe that to me?
We all of Babylon went to like this little church spot, and Eliza spoke at a podium, gave a whole speech. I can't really recall exactly what she said, but she gave a whole speech, and then she called up the new Babylonians to come up. We each got a bag of spice. We were instructed to take it and then line up, name one thing that we were leaving behind in the old world, and then jump into the water. To which I took the spice. I got to the cliff. I said I give up the trash god, and I jumped in.
To the what god? Sorry.
The trash god.
Who's the trash god?
Um, it's a long story. It's like I drank trash juice. I was a part of the Los Santos Sanitation Union, something founded by Mr. Lang himself, actually, a long time ago. And uh, admittedly, through an effort of myself and a couple other coworkers, we 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 formed a religion.
Separately?
Yeah, like this is completely unrelated. This is like
Understood. Okay.
completely unrelated to Babylon. This is like 2 years ago at this point. But that was something that I was basically leaving behind, was that whole thing.
Oh, were you a part of like okay. Understood. Um what about the militia? What was it? What was who was in it? Who led it?
From what I understand, the militia was just basically the police force of New Babylon, and I didn't really catch a whole lot of people in there, but I mean I saw Luciano, I saw um what's her name, like Mona, a guy named Sid who, rest in peace, he passed at the raid. That's kind of all I got for that. That's pretty much the main names that I caught.
Was there any leader among them?
Uh, I assume Luciano was, but that would be completely an assumption on my part.
Okay. And how did they um you mentioned they're kind of like the police force. Did you ever see them enforcing?
At the meeting, like my first town hall meeting, I was kind of pulled aside and was told to be searched by the militia. And on my last day, the day of the raid, before you guys stormed in, we had a town hall meeting where the militia had thrown me in the shame pit.
Mm. And what was the shame pit?
It's like a hole in the center of town where they open a grate, they toss you in, and you're in this dirty, dusty hole with nothing but a bucket.
And why?
That's a great question. To be honest, I don't know why I was thrown in there to this day.
Oh, did how did that go? Were you just minding your own business and they grabbed and put you in there?
Um, I mean, from what I understand, is it's like something that happened the day before that involved me having a gun. Um, Apparently, it was a bad thing that I was given a gun, and it did not make the leaders very happy. And instead of, I guess, I think they found it more appropriate to punish me rather than the person that was like, "Hey, take this."
Didn't
And so
CJ give you the gun?
yes.
Huh. Interesting. Did you explain that to them?
That part, no, I didn't particularly explain that. I didn't really get a whole lot of moment to explain myself.
Mm. Um, were you aware of weapons being sold out of New Babylon?
Yes, at the trade days, yeah.
Could you explain those details for me?
I think people would come over. There's a spot like towards the back of the island where people would go and they'd talk to
Trade Day Island.
Trade Day Island. Yeah, they'd talk to somebody. I think Benji.
If you could, if I was, I'm a very visual person.
Mhm.
So let's say I was making my way onto across the bridge from New Babylon to Trade Day Island. What would I initially see in front of me?
You would see like a big like hangar thing in front of you.
Mhm.
You'd walk up the ramp, and to your right would be the inside of the hangar.
Okay. And is this where the regular sales are being made for normal things?
Yes.
Okay. And then walk me through how we get to that other location.
So you'd walk straight through that hangar. You'd walk past all the normal booths and stuff like that, and towards the back of the like hall, essentially, there would be like a ladder way. You just take the ladder, and you'd just kind of follow that path, and it would take you to the room where, the guns would be sold.
So could you say that one more time? So you get to the back of this hangar and then
Yeah, you'd walk straight to the back of the hangar, and there'd be a ladder that you'd climb up.
Mm.
Go up the ladder, and you'd see another ladder on the opposite side where you'd climb down, and down inside is where that room is.
Understood. Did you ever see people sell? How did you come to learn of it?
Just being there, asking around. Like I said, at that trade day, I was offering my services to be anybody's bitch, and that included them back there. I went back there and I asked if they needed a bitch, and um, that's how I just knew. Like, I mean, I knew that existed prior because I had visited trade days before I even joined.
Mm.
But yeah,
And what did they have you do?
they didn't have me do anything. Benji in particularly told me if I need something, I'll let you know. I didn't do anything for him.
Who operated the sales in that section?
My I would assume Benji. Benji's the only person I've ever seen do it.
Okay. Do you know if he was involved in the manufacturing of the weapons?
I have no idea. I could not tell you that.
Did you ever walk into Chrome?
Yes.
And what's inside of Chrome?
There's like these like car lift things. There's like a fireplace, or not a fireplace, like a forge thing. Uh, Maybe a workbench, but I think that's it. That's in there.
Okay. Did you ever see any weapons scattered around there?
On the day of the raid, yes.
Okay. What about prior to that?
Not that I can recall. No, I didn't. Prior to that, I didn't have any reason to be in there other than a tour. In which case, yeah, the floors were clean.
Okay. Um, are you aware? Have you ever walked into the bank?
Yes.
What was the bank about? What did it? What? Who operated it, and what was it?
The bank, I'm not totally sure, because every time I asked about it, they're like, "Oh, we have to wait for bank people to be around." So I don't exactly know who is involved with it, but I know like you could go in and say, "Hey, I'd like to open an account for my Babylari." You'd hand over your Babylari, and they would put it in a private account.
Okay. And then, what else was in that building?
There's like a cage, like a caged room on the other side, like a very opposite end of the trailer. There's like a caged room
Mhm.
where I believe the guns were stored in there. Yeah.
Did you ever see anyone go in there and retrieve weapons?
Uh, that is where CJ got the revolver from for me.
Understood. Was that the only time you saw anyone, I guess, interface with that?
Personally, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, what do you know about Nancy Oksana?
I mean, not really a whole lot. I know she was gonna lead like this expedition out into the desert, but we didn't do it.
What kind of expedition?
I don't know. It was one of those cases where I was asking if anybody needed any help, and
Mm.
she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we could use a hand. We're gonna be going out to the desert." And I think before we were able to do that, clowns attacked, so we didn't really get to do it.
Was that the only interaction you had with Nancy?
Yeah.
What about AC?
So AC, from what I understand, is like the filming guy for Babylon, because when I first joined and was like, while I was sharing my dreams of making a movie, they were always like, "Hey, go to AC, go to AC." So I went to AC and I was assembling with him like AV equipment to do the filming and stuff like that.
Mm.
And we were coming to a good agreement on that. So that's what I know about AC. That's all I know about AC and his activities.
Did you have any run-ins with Lang?
Yeah.
Um, how did those go?
Well, how do I put this? Let me just I'll walk you through a quick little context here. Is one of the reasons why I didn't join New Babylon for the longest time was because that I was scared to death of Mr. Lang, like absolutely fucking petrified, because of my prior involvement with him in Cyprus. Um, I felt like at a time in Cyprus I was living constantly at fear that I would die, and I just got the vibe from him that he never really liked me. So I was scared to death of him. So that kept me from Babylon for the longest time. Um, but one of the things I was told just before joining was, "Hey, things are different. He's not like that. Things are normal. Things are chill. He's no one's gonna die. No one is being killed here." So fast forward, I join, and then 4 days later, he's the one that like yells to get me thrown in the shame pit. And then about like an hour later, I'm pulled into a meeting with him where he's basically asking me, "Hey, why'd you do this yesterday?" Which was like me holding a gun and fighting back against the besties. He asked me why I was doing that, and while he did that, he pointed a gun in my face. And I thought I was going to die just 4 days after being told that he was not like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was at that point that I pretty much was like, well, this is not what the fuck I signed up for at all. And but that he didn't pull the trigger, luckily, but you know, the barrel of the gun was closer to my face than this cup in front of me is.
The one right, that one right there.
Yeah, directly in front of me, yeah.
What about Alfonso Sebastian?
He was kind of like a punching bag.
Could you go into detail, please?
Yeah, he was pretty much naked wearing a diaper the whole time that I saw him.
Did you did you ask anyone why?
No, at that point, like being so new, I didn't want to put myself where I didn't belong, or ask questions that didn't pertain to me. So I never asked. No, I just kind of like accepted. Yeah, Sab's in a diaper. I've seen him in worse. So
what beyond that? What else? What else did you know about? What was there? Was there anything else to him other than being a punching bag, as far as you're aware?
I think he kind of helped like operate day-to-day things, like part of that fuzzy Saturday that I was talking about. um I think he had a couple of us go and get some cars to help rebuild the wall.
Mm. Okay.
I don't really remember doing
Was he
it,
one of the
though.
builders?
I think so.
Are you aware of any drone bombs?
No.
Are you aware of the drone bomb that was utilized during the raid?
No.
Okay. Prior to this, I had mentioned worm ejaculate. Are you aware of its relationship with spice?
No. What does that mean?
We are trying to find out more. But are you aware of Shai Hulud ejaculating on the founders of of Babylon and giving them visions?
I mean, I've heard of Shai Hulud in passing, but I never heard that particular tale. No.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge of the worms in the cages being the ones that produce the spice? By were there any labels? Oh, yeah.
Nope. I did not know that.
Do you believe that knowing what you know now, the militia, the walls surrounding New Babylon, the internal economy, the unique currency, the leadership structure that demands and prescribes how that community functions, the preventing any member of law enforcement to even come near its gates, the free flow and trade of an external currency and assets with an internal currency. With all these things, and I want to be clear here. Knowing all of this, do you believe that they, not you, but they, the leadership, was trying to operate outside the rules, the laws of San Andreas?
I really cannot put an informed answer to that. It sounds like maybe yes, but I can't put an informed answer to that because I just personally I didn't get to know a whole lot there when it came to that kind of stuff.
I understand. Do you believe that they believe that the New Babylon, the leadership, believed that the state of San Andreas had any authority?
I mean, probably not. No.
Do you think they cared for the laws or the legislation outside of its walls?
I think if they did, there wouldn't be a codex.
Do you believe they had any care for the Constitution?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't really know a whole lot about the Constitution myself. Not because I'm a treasonist. I
understand.
Homeschooling was tough, and there was some subjects I liked more.
Previously you had mentioned there was a map of New Babylon.
Right.
And trade day was not labeled as such. Is that accurate?
Yeah, no, I don't think the map got that big.
Do you recall how that island looked before there was construction on it?
Not at all, no.
Okay. So brevity's sake, it used to be empty before the hangar was placed there.
Right.
Okay. Do you know if they operated where outside of the walls of New Babylon? Where else did New Babylon operate? Or lay claim, I guess.
The church that I was talking about happened a little west towards like between the mountains where the waterfall is.
And if law enforcement were to have come to that church service, what would have happened?
I'm sure it would have been paused.
Okay. And then just resumed after police left?
Yeah, most likely.
Do you believe that they would use violence against law enforcement if they showed up?
Depends on the energy that law enforcement came with.
So was that energy only present when we came to New Babylon? I understand you were only there for 5 days from what you saw.
The only time I saw you guys come down was on the raid day, and
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was very apparent before you guys even got to the gates that stuff was about to happen.
What about February 18th? Did they bring that up at all to you?
No.
Okay. Out of the individuals that are currently on the docket, and I'm going to go slide one over to you. There you go. If you don't mind pulling up the docket and opening up Crim 100.
Okay.
And you'll see a list of individuals in the defense. Is there anyone on this list that was a intricate part to their weapons trafficking or drug trafficking that you believe is not on here or was not present on the day of the raid?
No, like I not that I can tell. No, I see Benji's here. To be honest, I think there's more names in here than I got to know in Babylon. So
I understand.
I think that covers my knowledge.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Skipper. Did you have any interactions with him while at New Babylon?
Not at all. No.
Okay.
My path never crossed with him in that time. I don't think he was really around.
Okay. Is there anything that we didn't cover during this conversation that you think should be discussed?
I mean, not that I can think of. I don't know. I wanted to be completely clear. Like obviously I was there for 4 days. I had no idea the true like intricate like stuff that was going on behind the scenes. I went there because I was it was a community and it had the resources to do the stuff that I wanted to do and the stuff that I loved. But immediately when stuff did start to hit the fan and stuff seemed way more apparently not what I wanted to be a part of, I was already out. When we went to prison, I was out. I was done.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was a problem on the DOC's part or not, but I didn't necessarily break out either. Like I don't know if there's a wordage difference here or whatnot, but like when the big breakout happened, like I broke my leg falling off of the tower when it was blown up. So there was no reality where I was going to be able to run out of that bitch.
Are you saying you didn't break out of prison?
No, I didn't. But later on, the local DOC said I was good to go.
I
I
understand.
didn't really question him too much.
Okay. I understand. I can review the records to confirm that. Were you aware of the prison break the day of?
I was, yeah. I had heard it from the one of the lifers, one or two of them.
I see. But you left as the prison break was happening. Wouldn't that be?
No. I was in my cell during the prison break.
I understand. Oh, you don't have. Okay, I see. Okay. Understood. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, I have made note of that, and I can confirm with the records.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We do have a list of folks that we've sorted their things, and we'll cross-reference. So were you treated? Do they know you've left this? Is this like, does anyone know that?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
In the prison, I had told a friend of mine that I was going to be done. That it wasn't
In New
at all
Babylon?
what it was cracked up to be. Yeah, I was done with Babylon, and that it was the thing happened with Mr. Lang where he pointed the gun in my face, and then like not even 20 minutes after is when the raid started happening. So like I didn't have a whole lot of time to process, but sitting in a jail cell, I definitely did.
Okay. I think it is important for your safety because we need to put you on a hold, right? As we figure out your situation. I think it's important that what you spoke to me about is completely and absolutely not mentioned, right? As there are Babylonians in there, and there is a concern I have for your safety. I can look into finding an alternative for you, which I cannot guarantee, at least at this time. But it may be worthwhile at least suggesting, the usual. Brian has just asked me a bunch of shit. He wouldn't let me leave. He forced me to stay in the interrogation room while apparently you guys got transported. And he said, no, I need to speak with you. Whatever you need to say to make it rather clear that this conversation didn't happen. Right.
Okay. All right.
And obviously it's your prerogative. This is only a recommendation. Because this is not going to be a quick process. Right. And I want to be clear for that.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Bo, what I'm going to do is I'm like I said, look, each and every person is being looked at and information combed through. I am going to get you processed. We're going to send you up, and like I said, we'll be in touch. I'm going to pass my number across. And what I will do is I'd love to arrange another conversation. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Hopefully we can get some news on all this. So,
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Well, just what do you think your opinion, like, is it looking like I'm going to be going away for life?
I don't look, I don't want. I think you've been very truthful. I feel like you've been very forthcoming here and genuine, and I think I need to consult with the other prosecutors before I say anything, because I don't want to promise anything here, but it definitely seems I think I'm gonna have some more questions. But let me cook.
Okay.
I'll have a better answer for you tomorrow.
Look, I wasn't treasonous. I wasn't. I wasn't, and I never meant to be. I never wanted to be. I just wasn't.
Do you believe you were dragged into this? Like, let me ask you this. Do you feel like you could have actually left after you had sold everything and could you have left? Obviously, right?
Yes, I could have.
But did the circumstances put you in a position? Did you have to give all your things up?
Technically, yes, but I never got around to it.
And what do you think of those that may be in your position who had to give everything up?
Oh, there's definitely probably a dedication and a obligation at that point to see it through, regardless of the circumstances.
And do you think those kind of people could really leave?
And from what I understand and what I've been promised and told, is that yes, if anybody that wanted to leave could leave.
Are you aware of the execution by Benji Ramos a few days prior to you coming into New Babylon? What occurred to Devon?
No.
Are you aware of what an exile is? All right. We'll leave the recording here for now. Pause at 9:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't want to say this on recording, but Devon was executed. He had a bounty on his head. He was. Happened a couple days prior to where it sounds like you joined. They never told you about the bounty board?
I knew that it existed, but I was never told about it. No.
Yeah. I'm going to send you in there. Like I said, don't overdo it. I would focus more on This guy, Brian, kept me here. When I told him I wanted to go with the rest, he refused. That to let you go with the others. That I told you that I needed to speak to you. And you figured might as well get it over with. But that when the interrogation started, I was just demanding a bunch of shit, and that I wasn't letting you explain the situation and explain that, you know, hey, we're not this and we're not that as a collective. And I understand while you may have told people that you wanted to leave, that doesn't mean that you were going to just, like, you know, play it up like I was a dick with you the whole time and kind of kept you here, and that you didn't end up saying much because I'm just an asshole and just kept demanding shit, right? Nice and simple that way.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And obviously use one of the payphones if you really need to talk to me. Just be very careful. You're going to be sent up for a 24-hour hold, which is going to turn into a hag. Like I said, I'm going to try to work your situation as quickly as possible. I would ask that it would help your situation if, when we do meet, in the interim, we'll find a way to do it to try to maintain your safety. But please do listen in on what's going on inside.
Okay.
And if you get your hands on a burner phone, do not text, do not call me from there. Right?
Understood.
And be careful not to tell anyone, even those that you trust, those that you might love, that happen to visit you or see you inside. You don't confide in them, because you never know that even sometimes loved ones and friends end up yapping, right? Wrong person here is it's probably not good for you, right? So
okay, I understand.
Here we go. All right. Do you have any questions for me before I get you sorted here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. I have your charges sorted. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. What's your lucky number today?
Feeling 550.
All right. All right, brother. You hang tight and stay safe in there.
Okay.